Good morning, YouTube. It is Russ Strock here, and it is May the 9th, 2025 in Southeast Michigan. I am out in my bee yard. It's about 8:30 in the morning. It's just 38 degrees, and I'm just kind of inspecting some of the work that I've done this year with the bees this spring. I did my first round of splits off 5 hives that I overwintered successfully. I had 7, 2 died, and I ended up with 5. And I took those 5 and I split them into approximately 14 different smaller nucs. The one on the left here is an example of one of those nucs that I split off the original 5. And in that wooden nuc on the right there with the red tape across the top, that's where I put the queen from one of the 5 hives that overwintered. I put the queen in there with 5 frames from her original overwintered hive, and then split off the frames with brood and food into these other nucs. And it's a lesson I'm going to share here with you about trying to make these early splits, probably too early. I did come out about a week ago, a couple days into May, and did a very careful inspection and found 11 queens, unmated queens. I was very happy with 11 unmated queens out of the 14 nucs that I made. And But when I came in a week later, which has just been a couple days ago, and looked for mated queens, I could only locate 8. So 7 or 8. So out of the 14 nucs that I made, only 7 so far have come back with mated queens. Now there could be 1, maybe even 2 more that I haven't found, but this in front of me here on the left is my only 2-frame queen mating nuc, and to the right is another one of those wooden nucs, but you can see there's 2 entrances on the bottom. I've put a divider board in the middle, so I've turned it into a 2-frame nuc on each side. And I did have, at one point, I had unmated queens in all 3 of these. The 2-frame on the left, as well as 2 queens in the one in the middle there. But I have not been able to confirm that I now have a mated queen in these nucs, but I'm pretty sure I do because of the number of bees that have returned. I just couldn't find I could not find the queen. I think the lesson in this is my return rate at this point of mated queens is about 50%, which is low. And I think that has a lot to do with how early I tried to do these splits. We had several nights, I should say, where the temperature went into the high 20s during the critical times when the bees would have been making queen cells out of eggs and larvae. What you're seeing here on the left is one of the honey supers that I overwintered on top of a deep for one of those 5 successful hives. And it had eggs in it, so I just let it, kind of a walkway split, let it try to make its own queen. This is an example where they failed. They failed to make a queen. And I went in there the other day. I've been there a few times, but I believe what I have now, because they failed to make a queen, it looks like I have laying workers. So once again, starting too early on the on the splits, making nucs resulted in another problem. So I'm in the process of trying to resolve the laying worker issue in the walkway split on the left. On the right, that is one of those nucs I made early that was successful, and I have a nice queen. I write on the tops of these. I have a nice queen, mated queen in here, and some capped brood already. and that I dated on the 6th of May, just 3 days ago. So yeah, lots going on in the bee yard. It's really an exciting time to spend out here. You know, even the challenges of having laying workers, I've dealt with that before, and I think I can successfully kind of use those bees and, you know, incorporate them into the other nucs and the other hives that I have here. So that hive in the middle, the one with the silver top, I'm pointing at it, but it doesn't really show here. Yeah. Anyway, right there in the middle with the nothing on top of it is one of those overwintered hives. I had actually put that queen in one of those wooden nuc boxes with 5 frames. I've been borrowing some brood from that hive to make a second round of splits that I started on May 1st. I've got some of those started here as well. And I put that queen in those 5 frames back in a deep body box, kind of preparing her for a little bit of summer production, maybe some honey production. But I'm of the opinion where I don't like to take queens into a 3rd year, so I will, you know, at some point I'm going to need to pinch the queen in that box and add a new queen. The last section I have here in my bee yard is back over here near the gate, near the entrance to this orchard where I keep the bees. Same thing here. The hive on the right, I've now moved back into a deep. That one overwintered right there in a deep, double deep actually. And I moved the queen into one of those wooden nuc boxes with 5 frames. She was expanding really nicely, so I borrowed some frames from her for these nucs. But I have now put her back into a deep hive box, letting her expand too, but I will need to replace her with a new queen. And here's a couple of nucs. The one in the front was one of my very early splits that successfully produced a new queen, mated queen, and they're in there hopefully on this cold morning. And the one in the back is kind of my second round of splits that I did on May 1st. And I have checked, they had a nicely forming queen cell here a couple days ago, and it should be done now. Usually it takes about 8 days for a queen cell to emerge. So with that, I just thought I'd do a little update. It's a beautiful morning, a chilly morning, but exciting. I love this time of year. All the trees are blossoming. These bees in my orchard, and this is a pear tree right here, and you can see all the, I'm not sure if you can see it, but all the baby pears here with the blossom. We're just at blossom drop now on the pears. The cherry tree here is already done blossoming, and for some reason my 2 Honeycrisp apple trees didn't produce any blossoms this year, but hopefully it all works out. If you like the videos, you know, click subscribe, share it with a friend, and I wish you success in all your beekeeping adventures. Take care.